one of them being down in South Dakota. And we're going to be talking with one of the drivers that's going to probably be one of the main contenders there in the Midwest Modifieds. Tonight's guest, Dawson Zabel of Selby, South Dakota. Dawson, how are you doing?
I'm good tonight. How are you?
Doing good. I like the pink shirt. Loving it.
Oh yeah, pinkish, reddish, whatever it shows up as. I don't know what color it is.
Yeah, and of course, you got the sky behind you. We were just talking about just before we got on the air. Beautiful weather, especially now that it's almost the end of the season.
Yeah, no kidding. It seems like it's been hot as hot can be lately, and kind of miserable. But us as farmers, especially having a late crop, we haven't been able to complain too much about the heat.
That's a good point. I forget that you come from a family of farmers, so I guess kind of jumping right into it. What has this summer been like with all the crazy weather that we've gotten?
Luckily, right around here, we haven't gotten anything too crazy weather-wise. We've gotten some wind or nothing, but nothing that has damaged crops or buildings, vehicles, whatever. So we've been pretty fortunate, luckily there.
Well, that's good, yeah. Especially when it gets to those damaging winds and everything. I'm sure it's like, then you get behind on like cleanup and can't get right out in the field to do the actual stuff that kind of makes the money throughout the year.
Hey, yeah, yeah, we haven't. I guess since I've been back, we haven't had to deal with anything like that, luckily. So I don't really know how that goes, I guess.
Yeah, and so kind of getting the racing aspect as we get to know you a little bit. And if you folks are watching, want to drop in a question, feel free to drop in the comments below and we'll ask Dawson. Or if you have a question for myself, feel free to list that as well. But how many years have you been behind the wheel, Dawson?
I think this is number 8, actually. It seems like just yesterday, but I think we're on year 8 already.
Okay, and you're in the Midwest Modifieds, and is that the only division you've raced up to this point?
Yes, yep, that's where I started, and that's where I still am, I guess.
Well, now you come from a family of racers, so kind of talk to us a little bit about how you kind of grew up in racing. Did you have any specific duties, or are you kind of just an observer?
I don't know. My dad raced, from the day I was born, pretty much. The uh, grew up around it. Have always had a lot to do with it. When I was young, I'm a hands-on type of person. I like to get after it. So that was one of those deals. I was pretty young, doing whatever I could do. I'm sure I annoyed my dad something terrible because I was constantly probably in the way or whatever. But no, I've always been around it, always enjoyed it, love the majority of it, I guess. I mean, there's some things like in everything in life that isn't awesome, but no, the upsides definitely outweigh the downsides.
Yeah, and it's got to be cool to come from a family such as yourself. You got Dylan racing in the modifieds over the last several years, and of course your dad kind of he's always around the program. So does he still be? Is he a major part of the program, kind of working on the cars, or is it kind of just you and Dylan working on the cars yourself?
Oh no, my dad is huge help for us. He does a lot for us, I guess. He does the majority of our setup stuff. He'll do that and change oil on the engines, all the big stuff, pretty much all the key stuff, I guess you could say. We're very fortunate that we have him to do all that.
Well, and as I talk to people, like usually they have someone that knows like engines, for example, because I feel like that's more of a specialty thing when it comes to dirt track racing. So it's nice to have a guy that kind of knows some of those finer details where you can kind of do the other stuff that involves getting a car to the track each week.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he isn't the greatest with engines, I guess. I'm not, Dylan's not. I mean, we're unfortunately that is one thing that I wish that we were knew a little bit more of or whatever, but we also have I mean, I have a Tim's engine and Dylan runs Dakota, and they're both of them are amazing people. Amazing people run the places, and can't say enough about them. They answer the phones if you have a question, and they uh, they definitely are second to none.
Well, and since you're from Selby, South Dakota, kind of consider Aberdeen your home track. Although I forget every time that is not like a close drive from Selby to Aberdeen. So, kind of tell us about like where you're located and how far you have to go to race some of these tracks.
We are 80 miles straight west of Aberdeen, so our home track is Aberdeen, and it's 80 miles away. Wishick actually, Tri-County Speedway is I think 85 or 90 from here. So that's a close second, which I heard rumors. I don't know if it's true or not. They're going back to racing Thursday next year, which I really hope is true because it's actually a lot of fun to just buzz up there on a Thursday and whatever. And I know the Sunday deal, unfortunately for us, doesn't always work the greatest. Is I try and take Sunday off of racing, do something else for one day a week. We work on these things every day of the week and race on the weekends. It's nice to get one day to just kind of relax and catch up on life, really.
That is a very good point. I should almost take that advice myself, which I
Yeah,
kind of
work
am
gets
this
busy,
week.
racing is busy. It's just nice to have one day that you can just kind of unwind.
Yeah, like usually for me, it's Thursday through Sunday. I'm at a racetrack. I think this week I'm not going to a track on Thursday, and it's probably going to be Friday through Monday. So still 4 days.
So there, you still got 4 nights then.
Well, I guess I have another day of preparation in lieu of the weekend, so I guess we'll kind of call that a day off.
Yep.
Hey, Dylan Zabel checking in. Yes, nice shirt. Thank you. Appreciate that. I was gonna ask too, cause have you guys got any updated merch? I feel like I haven't seen any as of late.
No, we don't have any shirts. I joked with my mom forever and I told her I'm not getting shirts until I have 25 career wins. And I just held that. I was like, I'm not doing that. But last Friday was my 25th win, so I might have to give in.
I was gonna say, like, when you said that, I'm like, well, you've had at least like 3 or 4 in the last month or two, so you got to be
Yeah.
getting close.
Yeah, we have definitely been pretty good lately, luckily. Fortunately, I guess you could say.
Well, and kind of talk about your 2025 season. I know, like, I always see you guys like year to year. I feel like last couple years you maybe probably would have had wished you had better results, but it seems like things have been clicking, especially down in Aberdeen this summer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. This year has been better than the past two. I think 22 was a pretty good year. The last two we've struggled, definitely struggled a little bit. Um, I don't know, just trying a lot of different things and have didn't really have a base point, I guess, to go off of the last 2 years. But this year we've been fast. We've actually been changing less things than the last 2 years, and it seems to be have been paying out. So can't complain
Yeah,
about
and okay.
no, just can't complain about our results so far this year.
Well, in like the last couple weeks, I've seen you racing quite a bit. So you've been up to Cheyenne Speedway the last few races they had, and so I know talking with you and your mom, you're kind of trying to get like a good setup for like the dry slick conditions. What kind of is the
Yep.
mindset going into that versus some of the races that you typically race like down in Aberdeen or Miller?
No, just our South Dakota tracks tend to have a little more traction than normal. And a couple of weeks ago, we went to Lisbon, got humbled. Then I think, where did we go? We would have went to Miller the next night. They raced on a Friday and were pretty good. And then went back to Jamestown and got humbled again. And I guess I just like have a no quit part to me, I guess you could say. Like it honestly it's very frustrating to struggle on that kind of stuff. And instead of just being like, I'm not gonna race there again, I don't want to do that again. It's like, what can we do to be better or to get more laps on that kind of stuff and to get better at it?
Gotcha. Yeah, and that makes sense because like once you get good on one condition, you want to if you get good on like another typically drier track, so to speak, you have a really good base setup, and you can feel like you can go anywhere and compete.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the thing too, to go east into Minnesota and in a lot of places, I mean, it seems like the slick stuff is kind of the new, I mean, that's the new normal really in the whole country racing. And so to be comfortable going anywhere and competing, you got to be able to get better at that stuff and to basically to train yourself to like it. I mean, it's like it's like almost as I mean, I don't like that kind of stuff at all. It's like it just messes with me if I show up to a track and it's like slick for a heat race. It's like, oh boy, like how slick is the feature gonna get or whatever. But no, it's just definitely something I got to work on and become a better driver on it and figure out ways to get my car to be better on it as well.
Well, Dylan Zabel is saying that he taught you everything that you know. So Dylan, are you good on the slick yourself? Well, looks like we got some work to do before the end of the season.
Yeah.
Ryan Ost checking in, along with Rick Huber, Hudson Hooker, and Dave Sowers. Ryan's asking, how many nights in a row did you beat him? I think Ryan's saying too many times has he been beaten by 1Z.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, we're good. We're good.
Okay, did you hear my question that Ryan had for you?
No, I did not.
Okay, so Ryan Ost is checking in. He's asking how many nights in a row did you beat him?
One, I think, is all.
Oh, he's saying the answer is too darn many.
I don't know. In a row lately, not very many. I think he whooped me in Lisbon, and I think we raced in Aberdeen is all. Then after that I beat him in, but no, he's been darn good lately.
Yep, he this like I said, keep telling him this is the time of year where he's gonna whip out like one or two wins, and people are gonna be like, "Oh, there's Ryan Ost again, putting his foot to the floor and ending up in victory lane." Because I think he won the
Exactly.
big
Yeah,
buck.
he seems to be pretty good when special season comes around.
Exactly, and he looked good on Jamestown. Was top three the entire day. So watch out for the 24X.
Yep.
Dylan's saying he's a master at throttle control. Insert my two blown motors.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some nights just don't go according to plan. He looked really good on Sunday Casino.
Yeah, he was good. He was really good in Watertown. Couldn't complain at all.
Yeah, and so kind of talking about special season a little bit. So kind of give us like a little schedule of what do you guys got planned for the rest of the year?
Um, I guess we will be at the Big Buck this weekend, obviously. Don't know what's to follow the rest of the weekend, I guess. And then we'll be at the sites the following weekend. Take the week of the 100 off. We won't go to that or do any of that. And then I guess I really see how things fall. I guess I know Casino has their 2 day, their autumn classic, um, the Madtown Showdown. The Winter Nationals are on the schedule, the Brown County schedule. I'm not sure if they will run those or not. Hopefully they do. That would be a really good time. But other than that, that's probably the rest of the year. Unfortunately, things are kind of winding down.
Yeah, like each week goes by super quick, especially when you have like these 2 and 3 day events. It's like, oh boy, we don't have much downtime in between the week as it is, and now you put 2 or 3 day specials, really strict constricts the time.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, it seems like you got less time to prepare and more money on the line.
Yeah, Ryan's saying the 1Z is taking home a gun this weekend. Let's be real.
I don't know. It'd be cool too, but there's a lot of good cars and a lot of good competition in our area and maybe coming in. You never know who will show up. But yeah, it'll should be a good time for sure. Hopefully it'll be a lot of fun.
What would you say is your biggest career up to this point?
My biggest what?
Your biggest win in your career?
The Big Buck. I won that 2, 3 years ago. That's a big one. And then I won a Rebel Tour race in Aberdeen when they
Oh,
had
that's
that
right.
that deal. So that was a big one as well. Those are probably the two biggest.
Nice.
Re
Yeah, and like
Rebel
you
Tour
said,
one being more cars, more whatever.
yeah, and even like whether you go to a weekly show or if it's a Rebel Tour race or the Big Buck, Midwest mods have a lot of competition no matter where you go.
Yeah, it seems like there's really good competition anywhere and in that class and just good drivers, good people, everything, and it's definitely a fun class to be in.
Now, so since you've been in the Midwest Modifieds for your entire career, what does the future outlook look like as far as do you want to stay in the Midwest Mod for a little while or do you want to venture into something different down the road?
I don't know. I'm pretty content where I am right now, actually, just have the everything kind of figured out right now in the class. And It's not like definitely not dominating anything. I mean, we're competitive for sure, but it's I mean, win still feels awesome. It doesn't feel like I have to win, nothing like that. And like having Dylan and an A-mod, those are I don't know, I don't really have a like a feel of that I want to drive an A-mod, to be honest with you. There are a little more maintenance, but the, engines and this and that, it's just a lot more expensive and a lot more to go wrong, really. Easier to
Yeah,
tune yourself out as well.
well, that's what I've heard too. I've heard those things are very finicky. Well, late models are too, but like small
Hmm.
adjustments make a big difference.
Yeah, really going up from a B mod, you're going to the four link suspension and you're going to whole new waters, really.
We have one person in the comments was thinking it'd be cool if you went to an A mod. That'd
Who's
be
that?
that'd be the 24X.
Oh boy. Yeah, he probably would enjoy that, wouldn't he?
Good old Ryan, just laying in the weeds, waiting to pounce.
Hmm.
Also, want to say hi to Spencer Hupel and Al Schmidt, also watching. So, thank you guys for tuning in to the show as well. So, you're preparing for the Sites Memorial. You've been up here, I believe, the last couple of years. So, what do you think of that event and River City Speedway as a whole?
I really like River Cities. They have a beautiful facility, a fun track, and that event just seems to get bigger and bigger every year. It's a ton of fun. It's there's so much camaraderie and just the nightlife, I guess you could say, is a blast. Everybody gets along really well, and it's just nice to meet new people and see people that you probably only see once a year up there.
That's true too. And like I noticed the last 2 or 3 years, well, you guys have started coming up, but there's been like a big South Dakota following that started to come up the last few years. So that's been really cool to see to add to the already competitive field of cars in each of the divisions.
Yeah, for sure. That it seems to be there's been a pretty good amount of the locals, I guess you would say that go up there. But that weekend there's really nowhere else locally, I guess you could say, to race. And other than the people who are preparing for the 100 that week, it's just I don't know, it seems like a good show to go to.
Yeah, yeah, definitely a good time. I know Spencer commenting here. He's been coming up the last couple of years, I believe. Spencer, we were just talking about this. He's saying the onesie is unbeatable unless it's dry slick.
Oh boy. Yeah, that is my kryptonite right now.
You've been getting plenty of laps, so I think you'll get the hang of it here pretty quick. Because sometimes you never know what condition you get for some of these big races. It could be hammered down, and then sometimes it's like, oh boy, we have to really feather the throttle now.
Yeah, that is very true as well. The bigger the shows get, the more cars, the more everything. It seems like the tracks definitely dry off a little more throughout the night. And I don't know. We'll see if we can compete on that, I guess.
Is there a specific like racetrack or an event that you haven't hit up yet that you want to hit up at some point?
I don't know. That's a tough question. The 100 would be I think it would be fun. It just the way that we've been going to the sites and enjoy that. It for where we're geographically located, it makes no sense to come home and then go back to there. So then you'd have to be gone for it'd be like almost be a week and a half, I think you'd be gone from home, and that just seems a little aggressive.
Yeah, like even for me, it's like a very, very quick turnaround. Like you get done with the sites on Saturday, and well, now this year things are starting up on Tuesday in a big way. So it's like, boy, 1 or 2 days off, if that.
Yep. Yep, for sure. If you would want to go to or if we would want to go to the 100, I guess we'd have to have everything ready and then just go to Fergus that weekend or whatever and just stay the whole time.
Well, I know Dylan's raced Fergus. Have you raced Fergus as well?
I have not. I've been there a couple times. They also have a very nice facility and everything. That's a another very nice place, but I've never raced there. I guess I there's always been something at home. B mods it seems like always have a place to race around here and locally and whatever, which is another reason I enjoy the B mod too. You can stay close to home. It it's hard, especially when it's a trip just to go to our local track. It's even that much harder to go to Fergus, which is like I think it's like a 4 hour trip from home.
Oh, geez, yeah. Again, the reminder that you guys are still like 80 miles west of Aberdeen, like that's the same distance basically from Aberdeen just to get to the interstate for me, for coming from
Yeah.
Fargo.
Yep.
Well, more power to you guys that make that jaunt every single Friday.
Yep. Wouldn't want it any other way though.
Good point. Good point. Yeah, you can kind of enjoying the opportunities while they are here with before the season's done.
Yep.
Well, before I get to these last couple of questions, I want to give you an opportunity to thank your sponsors and the crew and everyone that helps you out.
Yeah, obviously my mom and dad, they're amazing. They do a lot for me financially and just with the manpower that it takes to do this kind of thing. So that's obviously our family farm, which is my mom and my dad, my aunt and my uncle. My aunt and uncle actually they help out immensely too. Just shop supplies. They've never complained about us having our race cars in the farm shop. Um, just things like that. It goes a long ways, and I really appreciate them for that. Olson Custom Farms, Chad and Pam Olson in Hendricks, Minnesota. They're amazing people. They help us out immensely. Pro Egg Supply, Seed Services, CHS River Plains, Premier Equipment, C&B, Precision Genetics, J&M Egg Services, Four Star Plastic, MB Customs, Tim's Automotive Machine, CMD Shocks, and then Jiggy Signs and Graphics.
Excellent. Good work being prepared on your sponsors.
Oh yeah, I forget
Quite
them in victory lane all the time, so I figured I wouldn't forget them tonight.
well. I always give drivers a kind of a pass because, like, usually the adrenaline's pretty high, and then they stick a microphone in your face, and it's just like, oh, the world just went blank.
I always feel so bad, yeah, there too. Like I don't even know. It's like, okay, who is this? But then it's also like, all right, let's keep the show rolling and get going. And 5 seconds feels like 5 minutes talking on a microphone for me. So
That's a good point too. Yeah, especially if like like the night's going a little later than probably people would like, and it's just like, let's try to keep it as short as possible.
exactly, exactly.
Well, I'm curious with your number being 1Z, how did you come with the one? Well, obviously the Z is probably obvious, but how did you pick the number one?
I don't even know, to be honest with you. I think it's really just because Dylan was 11 and I was just like, whatever, I'll be the one. I know I wanted to be the three because my dad was the three, just the three. I don't know what I would have done. I wouldn't have done the 3Z because that's his number. But it would have been the year before I started racing. We were in Wishick for I think it would have been their last show of the year, and there were two Johnson cars that were the three. That's when Jeff Schwinn in Jamestown raced, and he was the three. And then Shane Halopka was there, and he's the three JR or whatever. So there were I mean, there was probably like a 10 car field or whatever, and four of them were the three. So it's like, yeah, that one's out of the question. So I don't know. And then I guess just the one. It's kind of a cool number. It doesn't take up a lot of space on the door. Whatever. I don't know. It just kind of fit, I guess.
Makes sense. It's like I've noticed that this year, kind of following the street stock tour, there's like been like 411s following the entire thing.
Yeah. And so then you gotta, and then like on the receiver for those guys, I'm sure they're used to being the 11 or maybe they have a letter behind, but then you're like, who's this and who's that? And you got to kind of think a little more of what number you actually are that night.
Yeah, and like when you're trying to do the lineup, it's like 11R or 11J, and it's like, wait a second, which one's which?
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, for sure.
Well, that's always got to be confusing, especially if you're listening to the receiver and you get like a calls on the one, and it's like, okay, which one?
Yeah, that's the thing too. I've never showed up to a track that there's another 1Z at, so can't complain about that at all.
Good point. Very good point. Oh, got a couple of hooligans checking in at the last minute. We got Adam Brotherton checking in. Hey,
Oh
Adam.
boy.
And we got Lindsay Hansen checking in. 1Z, first one wrecked on the night. Good old Lindsay. I got to ask Lindsay, because your traffic issue. Did you finally get to your destination? Because I feel bad that you're stuck in traffic all the time here in Fargo. Gotta love our construction season.
Oh, it's so much fun, isn't it?
Yeah, that's one good thing when you guys really don't have to deal with too much being out in the middle of South Dakota in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, actually, this summer's been kind of bad. There's a couple spots on Highway 12 on the way to Aberdeen. The one spot's been out. It's been under construction since this spring, I want to say. All all summer there's been. I mean, it's not a bad detour, but you gotta. It's the typical. You know, you're used to going 65 the whole way, and then you got to slow down to like a 30 mile an hour and speed back up and whatever. But guess we're kind of used to it by now.
Yep. Soon we'll just be complaining it's too cold to go anywhere, so gotta enjoy it while we
Seems like in
can.
the Dakotas there's a icy road season and there's road construction season.
Yep. Lindsay's saying he took the Dawson approach and jumped the berm and continued on his way.
Seems like the faster way to go.
There you go. Well, I guess the last question I had for you, because did race against Dylan for a little bit in the Midwest Modifieds. What was that like racing against your brother or with your brother?
It was we were in the same class, but we really didn't race against each other because he was a lot better than I was at that time. So it was like if we were gonna race side by side, I was probably lap traffic to be honest with you. So it wasn't that bad. Towards the end, it got a little more competitive, like heat race wise or whatever. But it was what it was. We're both very competitive, so there were a couple times that we both had to kind of bite our tongues or whatever. But no, it wasn't bad at all.
Well, good. Well, and you guys seem to have a really good relationship and help each other out on the various cars, and so it's cool to see that connection.
Yeah, I mean, it takes all of us to get our stuff going, and it's only myself, my dad, and Dylan, and we got two cars and whatever to take care of. So we all got to help each other out a little bit and use our time wisely.
Absolutely. Definitely agree with that. Well, thank you for taking some time out of your schedule. Looking forward to seeing you over the next couple weeks. And also, for all of you watching, this person is a living example that my GoPros are not cursed.
I actually broke our family curse this year with that one. It seems like every time we put a Mason GoPro on, the luck is not there, but finally broke that curse.
Finally, finally. At least put one in the bank for me not cursing people with the GoPros.
I'm surprised it didn't get shattered by a rock like on lap two or something. That would have been that would have been my luck for sure.
Yeah, I've had that issue before where they've done really well and then it gets covered in mud or something, but
Yeah. Yeah,
perfect
no, it
storm.
was clear the whole way. Couldn't complain at all.
Yep. So if you want to GoPro on the car, just let me know. More than happy to
It's
stick
good
one
luck, I
on.
promise.
Yep, exactly. Thank you. Well, thank you again, Dawson, and thank you to everyone tuning in. Looking forward to seeing you soon, and best of luck in this special season.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. And always appreciate what you do for me and for all the drivers in our sport. It means a lot to us all.
Absolutely. Love doing it. I'm going to finish out the season strong.
Sounds good. Have a good one, Mason.
Yep, take care, everyone.